Hi, my name is Marty Neumeier. I'm the author of 8 books on branding and innovation, and you're watching Behind the Brand with Bryan Elliott. A big shift happened in the economy, and everything collapsed for me and a lot of people around me. So we had the dot-com bust, we had 9/11, and a recession in rapid order. And I lost 2 companies, a magazine and a design company, and had to reinvent myself. And that's when I started thinking about, I've been addressing designers a lot, trying to help them understand business, and it's been rough. They resist, right? They want to be artists. So I decided to just do sort of George Costanza. I'll do the opposite. I will not talk to designers. I'll talk to business people about design. And that worked. That worked beautifully. So I wrote a book called The Brand Gap, and that was the beginning of what I'm doing now. So I wrote that book about the gulf between what companies think they're doing and what customers think they're doing, right? And that's a big gap, and companies can fall into that gap and die. So it was about how do you get your strategy and customer experience to match up, to link up, so that you're actually doing what you say you're doing and everyone understands you, because it makes a huge difference in how you're perceived and how successful you are. So
you wrote this book, you literally wrote the book on brand. I have a lot of brand questions. The show is called Behind the Brand. So the whole intention was to pull back the curtain and kind of reveal the people, the strategies, the ideas, and the execution behind some of these iconic brands and people who, in my opinion, are brands. Personal branding has become a big thing, especially in the last few years. It wasn't that big when we first started the show. What I want to know is, first, can you break down the definition of what branding is, a brand is? I want to talk about marketing and advertising. Let's start with brand first. How do you define what a brand is?
this is important. This is where people go wrong. Right away, they misunderstand what a brand is here in the 21st century. It's more than a logo. See, this is what people don't get. They think of a brand as something you stick on, like branding a cow or something. And we did start there, 10,000 years ago. But now a brand is much more. So the way I define it is a brand is a person's gut feeling about a product, service, or company. And I'm choosing all those words carefully. So it's a gut feeling because we don't make our purchase decisions in a logical way, even though we think we do. Mostly we use intuition, we use our emotions come into play. We try to be as logical as we can, but it's a gut feeling. And we don't understand everything about the products that we're buying. We're just going with our gut.
So built into that sounds like there's an assumption of an awareness.
Yeah,
so you have
it has to be, yeah.
So you have to see.
There's no brand without awareness.
Right? Yeah. So you have to see the ad. Basically, if
the product, you have to hear the name. Those are all touch points. We call touch points. Any way you come into contact with the brand is part of your understanding, part of your gut feeling about that product.
And that can be negative or positive.
It can be negative. Yeah. It can go from positive to negative. So Warren Buffett said it takes 20 years to build a reputation, 5 minutes to lose it. That applies to branding too. You live by the brand, but you can die by the brand. So if you do something pretty horrible, some company behavior that goes viral, and you can lose millions, maybe billions of dollars of brand value, which is this sort of imaginary number, but it's definitely it's something. It's a number. Maybe you can't understand it, but it's really important to the company.
Well, you started telling that Apple story, so now I'm just replaying that Apple movie in my mind, where they started, where Steve and Woz was very focused on Apple II, and that was everything, and then Steve left, and they had a really hard time branding themselves as the computer for students or young people, or a computer on every desk, whatever they were trying to do. And it wasn't until Steve came back that he sort of rebranded.
Well, I think they had something more than that, even in the beginning, which was this is the computer for the rest of us. That was the idea. So they were this is really smart. helped by their advertising agency, Chiat Day, in figuring this out. They found an enemy.
It was IBM.
IBM.
Yeah.
So IBM is, there were people at IBM that said, there's probably only need for 5 computers in the world. And of course, nobody can really use those except for the sort of high priests of the computing world.
Well, these are white guys, let's face it.
Yeah, they're
white
guys.
shirts, red
White
ties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue coats under that, but because they're IBM. So you had this very corporate idea of what a computer was, and they're saying, no, everyone should have one of these. And so you had the 1984 commercial where the woman runs up and throws a hammer into the screen, and Big Brother
Iconic.
breaks into shards. Brilliant. Positioning, great. So that's a great start for a brand. And they just went with that. Now, then they had problems like figuring out, well, which way should we go with this? Should it be the Macintosh? Should it be the Apple II? Should it be students? I mean, they had to figure all that out. Is it for businesses? Is it just for personal use?
So that's not branding, though. And you tell me what you think. To me, that sounds like segmentation.
Well, they're struggling with the brand because they're trying to figure out what their position is. Who's it for? Who's the audience? And of course, they can't know all that in the beginning. They have to figure that out. But they got the big thing right, which is our purpose is to bring computing to everyone. Huge. Nobody else had that. So mostly they did a great job. They paid attention to the quality of all the communications they put out. They paid attention to the quality of the products. They had Steve Jobs, who could be the spokesperson and was willing to do it and did a pretty good job, and kind of created a religion around it, really.
I mean, we were just sitting back, chopping it up, reminiscing about the good old days and all that, tracking my roots, where I came from and where I'm going. But like I say, man, always said it. It's not about the destination. It's all about the journey. Ain't nothing changed but the weather.